Hello, Avatar.
Here we go. Okie dokie dokie. Hello, Avatar. My Hello Avatar has been created, and I've now landed in the Welcome Hub provided by Linden Labs. You can also end up randomly in other locations. I know some people have landed at Mad P events where you can go and you end up at a game, which is fine. If you are totally new to Second Life, this type of Welcome Hub, or this Welcome Hub even specifically, is one of the best ones to have. You can come in here and you can use the sandbox to open packages. You can check out all the different things that are Second Life. It is self-guided. You can hop on one of these little tour guide pods that will take you on a tour of the hub. And I would recommend that if you are brand new and you land here, that you go and start with the quick start guide. This will walk you through everything that you need to know about functioning within Second Life. And you'll see, hi, there's other people here. You've got your basic movements. You've got different ways to check the guide. It'll tell you how to go from one place to another. As you go through the guide, you follow these little lines, the lines and the arrows. You can see people rezzing in and popping in here. And there's a Second Life mentor. Okay. And she will hopefully answer some questions for you. If you want to continue here, you can follow through the guide, and you can see that some of the canned avatars are all landing wearing the same clothing. I happen to have gotten my Senra a little bit more customized, and isn't she lovely? I love her green jeans. Okay, so let's say you have gone through all of this. You've learned all the basics. Now what? Where are you going to go now? One of the things that you can do is you can go to your search, and you can type in Hello Avatar in the search. And we are listed number 2 because it's got a comma in it. And you can see right here, it's got all the information, including here is a link to the Hello Avatar HQ. And if you click on that hyperlink, it'll take you to it. Now, I've already joined the group, but you can also join the group from this part too. So I'm going to click teleport. It's going to do its thing. Yay, woo. And I'm going to close these. And we are at the Hello Avatar HQ. And it's just going to take a second for everything to res in. Bum-ba-dum-ba-dum-ba-dum-ba-dum. Now, if you want to look through your avatar like mouse view, you can click M on your keyboard, and it'll give you a first-person view of Second Life. And the music automatically clicked on, so I'm going to probably have to go turn that down in just a second. But here is the Hello Avatar, and it's just going to take a little while for everything to res in. I'm not sure why I've got music playing. Not entirely sure. Something's playing that shouldn't be playing. I think somebody's got something on. Anyway, so here we go. Hello Avatar. So now I'm going to go shopping for all the things. I'm going to grab an info card from here, and I'm going to start looking at, I already know that I want to change my avatar, and I already have an idea of where I want to go do that. So I'm going to try and update all that information right here for you. And I'm going to use the links that I've got here, and it's going to be a quick gathering session, and I'm going to speed it up. So hang on one second, and off we go. have gone out and we've picked up a few things based on what I already know I want to use. And you're welcome to obviously go explore those things and find those things that work best for you. Grab demos for stuff. I showed you how to grab a demo for hair. You can also grab demos for bodies and try those out. Grab demos for skins. And I'm going to work on updating this lovely creature to a different sort of base avatar that meets my desires, because that's what SL is about, right? You want to make your avatar how you want to make them. So I'm going to make this one a girl. I'm going to make hello avatar girl. I'm going to detach this AO because it's annoying and I actually don't need it right now. I'm also going to go into my inventory, and so if I was in my inventory and I didn't know where this was already, it's one of the clothing items for the new avatars. So here's Jamie Cyberpunk, and then here is Jamie. And these are system created, so I can't really edit these, but I can right click and remove from current outfit, which is going to remove everything but base layers. Isn't she lovely? How fantastic. And don't you guys ever remember back in the day when our avatars actually looked like this? This was the beginning of the end for most of us. Okay. So, since this is, I guess, I got nothing. Anyway, I was going to try and say, since this is supposed to be somewhat PG because it'll be up on YouTube, I probably should blur these out. So maybe in my edit, I might blur these out. Otherwise, they're going to just stay like this for now. So I already know that I'm going to use the mesh legacy body. So I'm going to come in here to my bodies where I had edited those before, and I showed you that I had sorted my folders. And I'm going to come in and I'm going to grab, I think I'm going to go with, here's my legacy body perky, and I'm going to add, and I'm going to grab my edit hub, and I'm going to right click, and I'm going to add. And then I'm going to come in here, and you'll see it's all starting to kind of fill in. I want my classic fit feet, which means they're going to be flat or for high heels. And I want my hands. Now, not all bodies do this. Lara is one click, and then it's got your feet and your hands and your body all together. A couple other, I haven't done the Gen X. I know that Beleza used to be all one body, so I think they're also still one body. I'm going to leave off the physics for now just for easiness. And then I'm going to come over here. I think that's everything I need for this right now. I'm going to come over here, though, and well, you've got to make sure when you're using a legacy body, this is so great, your media is on. So your little camera up here in the upper right-hand corner, this is for the Firestorm viewer. It may look a little different in the Secondlife viewer, the Linden viewer. So everything I'm showing you right now is within Firestorm. Things may be just a little different. I'll do a tutorial, I guess, in the Secondlife viewer as well. And so click on that to make sure that the media is on. And the reason you want to make sure that media is on is because the HUD right here is media driven. And here is your legacy body HUD. And you've got all of your hand animations, your different skin levels that you want, your different nails, your feet flat to high heels. If you were doing a ballet shoe and you wanted the point, then you would switch it. You would switch these feet. You would change these feet. So there's that. Then here's all the layers that if you wanted to use like tattoos and things like that. And we'll get into all that later. But I'm going to click on this middle button here, and it's my styles. And then I'm going to come over and I want to go to these little dots here. Come on. And I want to say apply bomb. And what that's going to do is it's going to set up my legacy body for bakes on mesh. And it's a default skin right now, which is fine. But I'm also going to come up here and I'm going to minimize my bodies, and I'm going to come down to my head, and I want my L head, and I want my eyes. So I'm going to right click on the eyes. I'm going to right click on the head. I'm actually going to go ahead and use the shape provided by LAC, and you'll see it changes the shape of my body. And I'm going to use the eyebrows provided by LAC. And then I'm going to come in and see the face is all kind of weird. And that's because The mesh heads have a different mapping on the skin than the very base default of defaults avatar. And so the mapping on that is different. So I'm going to come in here, and I'm going to try the L Bear skin 1.0. And she's going to start looking human there. So she's got no eyebrows. Just realized she's got no eyebrows. So let's see if, oh, look, it says bear. It says browse. So we're going to come back down here. We're going to come browse. I think I'm going to go 1.5 and make her a little more tan and go browse. Now it should, you can see now I'm wearing both of these. So I'm going to right click this and I'm going to take it off, and it's going to take off the layer underneath it. Now the weird thing is, I don't think it, nope, it did it. Okay. With some skins, your ears are separate. Like the Evo X, you have different ears. And the lac is high definition. It's beautiful. She's got great skins. I love her skins. I'm probably going to go buy different skins based on the look, but I love lac. So this is the free head from lac. And I'm going to go ahead and wear the Alpha Mask Bakes on Mesh Skin and Skin Appliers. No, I'm not, because I'm wearing her eyes, aren't I? Let me just try it just to make sure I'm seeing the right thing. Yep. Take that off, because I'm going to wear her eyes. And then, boo, 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 boo. This is the main HUD. Now, typically, when you get a mesh head, it comes with its own HUD. The way that they've done the free head, you can get just the head or you can get just the HUD, and they're separate. But this HUD is the handy dandy HUD for the lac head. And it's going to pop up over here. And this is where I can change my eyes. See, I'm changing my eyes here. Now, if I didn't want to use these eyes, I could use the eyes that I got from Aviglam, which I'll show you in just a minute. But let's minimize this for now. There's a little X right there to minimize it. We want to make the head skin match the body skin. And so I'm using the lac 1.5. And so I'm going to come down here to my skins folder where I had gotten these earlier. And I'm going to click on the next level legacy applier 1.5. Now this is bakes on mesh, so it's not actually an applier, like it's not a button that you click and applies it to the mesh. It is a bakes on mesh, so I'm going to put it on there manually. These little squigglies mean that it's a tattoo layer or bakes on mesh. It's actually kind of like a little Chinese dragon. So I'm going to right click. I'm going to go with freckles. And I'm going to right click on that. And there's my skin. And obviously she's naked as a jaybird. And we're going to put some clothes on her. So I'm going to leave the base skin, the base body, as this for now. There's not much I'm going to change on it. But what I'm going to do right now, just for protective purposes, I'm going to come over here and I'm going to go to clothing and I'm going to go to bottoms and I'm going to grab my jeans. And this is a legacy body, but it's legacy perky, but it's a legacy body. So I'm going to use the flat legacy classic because I don't want all of the shiny stuff. And then I'm going to come over here and I'm going to grab the tank top, and it's the legacy perky. I'm going to go classic. I don't want PBR. And we'll let that come on. And so now you can see she's fully clothed, and it has some auto scripting to start hiding different layers. And I've got a little bit of lag up here, so that's okay too. I'm going to remove the gems and the ribbons and just have a pair of jeans. There we go. Okay. So you can see that there's some clipping because it needs to be alpha'd, and that's okay too. But for the most part, this is my base. This is my new base. And then we're going to start editing a few things to make things different and to make it more personalized. Okay, so I went ahead and I went down to WERX and I grabbed my chicken nanner set, which is free. It's a group gift down at the store WERX. Chicken bananas. And I switched to this because it'll be easier for me to edit her shape. I'll be able to see it better. So I've gone ahead and I am wearing a couple different things. And you'll see if you go to your worn tab, I've got my folders already sorted and I'm wearing my Mesh Legacy Perky Body. I'm wearing my Aviglam eyes, bakes on mesh. I'm wearing the Lara Era 2 L head and the HUD. In my skins, this is where things start to kind of come together. I'm wearing my eyebrow shape from Irali, and I'm wearing the skin Honey from Irali. And then I'm wearing the shape, the base shape that comes with the Emma skin. And then I have on my body skin. Okay. First, we're going to edit the body, and then we'll get into the face later because the face has a little bit more of a fine. You can do some fine details with this. So we're going to right click on the avatar and I'm going to click appearance and I'm going to go to edit shape in the pie menu. And you'll see my avatar take the T pose. And what you're going to see is while I'm moving these sliders, some of the body is going to change according to how I change the sliders. So right now I have her at 48, which in real life is 6 feet tall. But it's also a little deceptive when you get into Second Life. If you want somebody who's actually your height in real life, if I made her 5'5", which is what I am in real life, I slide this down to 5'5", you'll see my girl shrink really small, right? So 5.5 is, that's almost at 0. Okay, so if it's 5.25 feet, right? So look how tiny she is. Now, if I put her up against any other avatar, she'd look like she's a very tiny person. Which, if that's what you want to do, then do that. That's great. But you're going to notice that things are built kind of out of scale in Second Life. Chairs are actually meant for a bit taller avatar, couches, etc. Furniture is a little bit bigger than the average bear. So we're going to bring her back up to I'm going to put her back up to 48 inches. I like that height. I'm going to, or 48, I think it's meters, 48. And then I want her a little thicker. She's at 32. I want her just a little thicker. So I'm going to pull this up a little bit. And then I'm going to come down here. And if I want more body fat, I can add more fat. So I'm going to add a little fat. I'm going to go here. And then I'm going to bring down my thickness. So I want her full, but I don't want her too big. And again, as you want, right? But this is what I'm doing. So what I'm going to do is, as I've started this, I'm going to save as, because I want to keep my base shape from Emma alone. And I'm going to put 2025 avatar base. And I'm going to save it. Okay, so now that saves that. And so now I'm going to skip head, eyes, ears, and nose, and mouth, and chin. And I'm going to hop over to torso. We're going to work on the head in a minute. But you see, as the menu touches the avatar, it kind of makes it hop around a little bit. And so now I think my muscles are okay. I'm going to check it and see if I want different muscles. See my arms thickening up and my chest thickening up. See how that makes that a little bit more. So I'm going to bring it down to 30. I'm going to go to 30. And neck thick. I like the neck. I'd like it a little shorter. So let's bring the neck down just a little bit. Okay. Shoulders. Now the shoulders, if you're going by artistic proportions or biologic proportions, your shoulders should be in line with your hips, depending on how big you make your hips. There are some women who have very birthing hips, nice birthing hips, and their shoulders are smaller. But again, this could be just for aesthetics. It doesn't have to be biologically accurate. So on the legacy mesh avatars, you're going to notice that the shoulders are a little more narrow and slopey than the Maitreya shoulders. The Maitreya shoulders have always been a little bit more wide and stocky. But again, as you work on your avatar, you can sort of sculpt the body to look how you want it to look. And I think I just kind of want to leave her shoulders where they were. But yeah, whatever. Breast size. If you want big boobs, you can have big boobs. If you want little boobs, you can have little boobs. Now to keep in mind too, with the Legacy Perky and the Petite, and with the Maitreya Lara and Lara X Petite, when you change the shape and the size of the boobs, it's going to work within the mesh that it's sitting in. So as one of the things you have to remember is with mesh heads and mesh bodies, the mesh starts with a specific sculpt and you can only change it so much. So change it how you want it to look. And so what I want to do with Hello Avatar's avatar, I think I'm going to make hers a little, let's go the magic number 42, and you'll see that change shape in just a second. But I'm also going to bring the gravity down a little bit on it because I want them down a little lower. And those are good. Cleavage, I'm not a big cleavage person. I know some people may be, but I'm going to go ahead and kind of pull it apart a little bit so that they're a little bit more natural. Arms. Now, here's a big thing in Second Life. A lot of people put their arms too short. Your arms, the tip of your middle finger should be sitting in the middle of your thigh when your arms are down by your sides. And usually 70 is a good starting point for that number. And then hand size, I think her hand size is pretty okay. And torso, I like her torso the way it is. I'm going to leave it alone. I like her. Yeah, I like her love handles the way they are. Okay, belly size. If you want to have a little bit more of a belly or a big belly, you can change this. A lot of people also do this when they are RPing being pregnant. They can change their belly that way too. So now when you get down to the legs are going to cover your legs, your feet, and your bottom. And so I like how muscular they are currently. I think I want them just a little bit shorter, which will change my height just slightly, but not by much. And then I think I'm going to bring her hips in just a little bit. I'm also going to shorten her hip ratio. And let's look at her tuchus. Her tuchus is fine. I think her tuchus is fine. So we'll leave that alone. And then saddlebags, if you want more of a saddle, if you want less of a saddle, but I'm going to stick with 10. And then I'm going to, let's see. Okay, feet. So here's the thing with feet. In Second Life, you really need to check your feet. Sometimes they're just these are too small. Okay, these are way too small. Men, check your feet. Do not have small feet. I'm going to go with the magic number of 42. The only thing about, especially in women's shapes and bodies, try on your shoes and then adjust your feet to your shoes sometimes, because like Lara X doesn't fit the Lara 5 shoes. They're slightly different, so you have to make your feet a little smaller. Legacy, typically the feet and the shoe fit pretty right on, but you don't want tiny feet because then you'll fall over. Okay, so I'm going to save what I've got so far. And so there's my body. So this is what my body is going to look like going forward. And I'm going to close this and make sure her hands fall where I want them to, which is hard to do in a T-pose. So let's see if there we go. So now you can see here's the middle finger and here's my upper thigh. They're a little too short still. So I'm going to go back into appearance and I'm going to go back to shape and I'm going to go to torso and I'm going to change my arms to, let's go 75 and save. Okay, and so aesthetically, I like how that looks a little bit better. They may even still be a little too short, but so here's this other tool that is available on Marketplace. It's handy dandy, and you can actually use this to help build your avatar. And it is the Nano Gunk AV shape proportions tool. This is available in the Discord. The link is available in the Discord. So I'm going to add this to my body, and you'll see what it does is it poses your avatar and it shows you actual proportions, right? And so if you wanted these proportions, you can match it with the caliper and read the instructions on how to use this. And I'm going to add the HUD, minimize this. And you can use this to update your body proportions. And you can see here, here's your arms and the length of your arms, and that should be at the mid thigh. So my avatar is a little shorter than the one here, which is fine. And my proportions are a little bit different. I'm going to leave her as is, but this is a really helpful tool if you want some help with getting some rather realistic human proportions. But to each his own. And when you're done, just detach everything and go that way.
I mean, why not? Blah 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 blah.